It was supposed to be the happiest moment of my life. The music was still echoing, champagne glasses clinking, laughter spilling across the reception hall when my phone buzzed. One message, one line. You're fired. Consider it my gift to you. Signed, of course, by my boss's son, the arrogant heir who thought the company was his playground. I stared at the screen, then slowly turned it toward my new husband. He read it, and instead of anger, he smiled. "Perfect," he whispered. 3 hours later, I had 108 missed calls. Backstory: I'd worked for their company for 7 years, built myself from intern to senior executive. I knew every deal, every contract, every weak spot they tried to hide. The son, my boss now, was nothing more than a spoiled shadow. He wore designer suits but couldn't read a balance sheet. His father built an empire. He was dismantling it, brick by brick. Still I stayed. For the paycheck, for stability, for the promise that hard work might eventually be recognized. But recognition never came. Instead, I got that text. On my wedding day. That was his mistake. Discovery of betrayal. The signs had been there. Meetings rescheduled without me. Clients suddenly reassigned. Projects I spearheaded credited to someone else. And then the whispers. She's getting too comfortable. Maybe she doesn't know her place. I ignored them, smiled, kept my head down, until that text arrived, like a blade slid between my ribs. Only, I didn't bleed. I calculated. Shift in mindset. I didn't cry, didn't rage, didn't let him see even a flicker of weakness. Instead, I pulled my husband aside during the reception. We left the dance floor, our smiles still wide for the cameras. He asked one question. "Are you ready to burn them down?" I answered without hesitation. Yes. Execution. Here's what the son forgot. Power doesn't come from a title. It comes from information. And I had plenty. For years, I'd kept meticulous records. Copies of emails, contracts, financial statements. I didn't hoard them for revenge. I hoarded them for survival. Insurance, in case I was ever cornered. That night, while the guests still danced, I logged in. My husband beside me, sleeves rolled, eyes sharp. We worked in silence, transferring, organizing, preparing. By dawn, everything was neatly packaged. A portfolio of corruption, embezzlement, tax evasion. Evidence that could crush not just the son, but the legacy his father had built. I didn't send it yet. Timing is everything. Instead, I called one of their biggest competitors, the one who'd been circling for years, desperate for an opening. "I think I can help you," I said. They didn't hesitate. They cleared their schedule. The climax. 2 weeks later, the son strutted into the office. He found me waiting in his chair. He laughed. "Didn't you get the message? You don't work here anymore." I smiled. "You're right, I don't." I slid a thick envelope across the desk. Inside, printed contracts, screenshots, signed statements. His face drained as he flipped through them. You can't." "Already did," I cut him off. He tried to bluster, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him. "You'll ruin yourself, too," he spat. I leaned forward, my tone calm, almost gentle. "No, I'll build something better. You'll ruin yourself, and everyone will watch." At that moment, his phone buzzed. One notification, then another, then dozens. Because I hadn't gone to the police, not yet. I'd gone to the board, the investors, the partners who'd already been uneasy about his reckless leadership. By the time he looked up at me, his empire was already slipping away. And I just stood, smoothed my dress, walked out without another word. Resolution. That night, my husband poured me a glass of wine. My phone sat buzzing on the counter. 108 missed calls, frantic voicemails from HR, from the board, from the son himself. I didn't answer a single one. I didn't need to. Because revenge wasn't about shouting or breaking, it was about silence. It was about control. And as I sat across from the man who had chosen me, truly chosen me, I felt deeper than victory. I felt free. So when my husband raised his glass and said, "To new beginnings," I clinked mine against his and whispered back, "To endings they never saw coming."